Welcome to the third and final part of this deck building series, where we'll be going through Recon all the way through to Air, and then a quick review of the deck so far. And I'll likely do an update video after this, showing any changes I've made to the deck. So, what have we got? That's got exceptional, Jet Ranger, very small, exceptional, high speed. That's quite nice. I'm going to stick that in, because I like to have a helicopter in the deck that's good for scouting. Having a Recon helicopter is handy for a lot of situations because it's very versatile. That said, I've been using Recon Infantry a lot more recently, and you have a few to choose from. Look at these guys. They come in a strength of 10. They have an anti-tank missile and anti-air. That's crazy. Can you imagine that coming into your base? You can't use choppers against it. You can't use tanks against it. If you get that behind enemy lines, you're going to be a real pain in the bum. And these guys go, nah, I'm not even going there. I'm enjoying these ones. What else? Wow, a little... Oh, that's hilarious. I've never seen a quad bike in the game before. Is there another quad bike? I'm going to have to look through now and see if there's another quad bike. Tank, ooh, look at that, T-55 with a very good optics. Look at the accuracy on that. AP power 17, 60% accuracy. I'm going to take that because that's 65 points for a tank with not a lot of armor, but it's going to survive a couple of hits from something else as long as it doesn't get hit from a big tank. And that's got a nice set of heat rounds. I'm going to go with that. Let's take 4 hardened ones. Now the CCs, these are something that have come into a few games and have been a bit of a pain in the bum. What can I bring them in with? Super Puma or an MI8P. They're the same price. Medium poor optics, speed 300, big poor optics. Okay, you better have gone with this one then, because it's only a size of medium. Now, am I going to bring those into the front lines, or am I going to... No, these ones are going to be on the front lines, potentially, and these guys you're going to use as more stealth infiltration. And I want these guys to get the front lines pretty quickly, because I usually like them to get there. I don't have to bring them all in helicopters. It's the speed on these guys for roads. 150, 150. But equally, unless, I mean, you can bring that in for 5, which makes them really cheap. I mean, they're literally going to be for scouting and using the sniper. So let's go with that. Oops, didn't mean to just click. 4 veteran ones. I don't want veterans, I just... No. 7 hardened. The reason for 7 hardened is in case I lose them if they're going to be sat on the front lines. And then these are definitely coming in a chopper. And I'll just accept that they're going to cost a fortune. Because if I'm going to do an operation behind enemy lines, then these are the ones to bring in, I think. Elite or veteran. Elite for that extra accuracy on those missiles. Right, so I've got a helicopter, I've got a tank, and I've got 2 sets of infantry for scouting. That'll do. Vehicles. I always struggle with vehicles. What do you bring in? There's that Musty again, which is a nuisance. Wow, that's cheap. 10 points. What's that one? Now, missiles are great, but they miss a lot. Is that going to be more likely to hit? I don't know. But it's good against everything. There's not a lot to choose from here, is there? That just an anti-tank thing. Nothing exciting. Sturm. Apparently they have terrible fuel. Yes, they do. 370 even. Autonomy 200 kilometers. Yeah, that's not going to go very far. I'm not sure what to stick in there. That's got a flamethrower. That's at least going to be annoying to everything. Missiles, missiles, missiles. Oh, that's got a good accuracy though. Expensive. Tempted to stick that in. 35, 60. So it's a lot more expensive, but it's that accuracy. And the AP power, so that's really good. That would do a lot of damage to an enemy tank, and that's going to upset the allies because Blue 4 don't have many rockets. I mean, you're going to come unstuck against the Israeli deck, but let's take 4 hardened ones of those. And I'm going to take these because they're cheap and cheerful. And I feel like they would just be really annoying. You could bring a few of those in and just sit them in a tree line with a short range to the next tree line. If they did bring in infantry, they're going to suppress the infantry pretty well, I think. Yeah, let's go for it. They've got a decent range. They're going to outrange any standard infantry with little rocket launchers. And we can bring in 18 hardened ones of those. That's really cheap. Helicopters. I don't like bringing in helicopters. That's got a 50 points. It doesn't have anything else but the TOW 2 missile. But that's a pretty decent accuracy. What have we got from the Polish here? MI-24W. Accuracy is only 55% on that missile though. Not even going to consider that one's alright. Taking out other enemy choppers, but it's a fairly cheap chopper because of its lack of accuracy, I think. Am I even bothered? Am I going to call it in? There's times I might call it in. I'll stick it there just because, you know, having it there could be scary for someone. Aircraft. Right, are we ready? Are we ready for the meme MiGs? Let's skip past everything else. Where's my MiG-29s? There they are. As I said in my aircraft video, this is the MiG-29 9.13. The Finnish, after doing a bit more digging, never actually had a MiG-29. I confirmed this with my friend and he went and had a look, and we had a look on Wikipedia, the source of all knowledge on the internet. It's all true, honest. And they had considered a MiG-29 but didn't think it was suitable, so never bothered in the end. Now, let's pin that, and then let's hover over the F-18 and let's compare them. Cannons. Similar. Vulcan cannon fires faster on the F-18C, fair enough. But, you know, 30mm rounds. Slightly more damage, I guess. Accuracy is the same, stabilizer's the same. Missiles. You got a short-range AIM-9 Sidewinder on the F-18C. And your medium-range ARAM 7,700 meter with 60-65 200 2S, and the MiG-29 has the same. Now, a big difference here is the MiG-29 has 2 missiles, the F-18C has 6. But really, are you going to keep your planes in that long? Probably not. I'm certainly not. ECM's lower, turn radius is better, and it's so cheap. 110 points for that missile. That speed. Exceptional air detection and that turn radius. No wonder they're called the meme aircraft. Yeah, we're going to bring those in. Oh, we're just going to bring in 2 elite ones. Can I bring... No, I can only select 1. That's a shame. But I might take the F-18Cs as well. There's some more MiG-29s. They're not too expensive. The Polish MiG-29. That's not bad either. Let's have a look. Compare those two as well. This is a 913S. So the big difference here is the MiG-29 for the Finnish have Vampels. The R-77 Vampel missile. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. They're fire and forget. You go in, you fire, you evac. I think we'll stick with those ones for the minute. What else we got in this deck? MiG-21s, 90 points. Suppose you use them against choppers, but not really doing it for me. 8 500 kilogram, that's pretty good. Napalm bombs. We like a napalm jet. That's an expensive napalm jet. ECM 0. That's not very many bombs. For the Hawk 51, the CM-17T is nothing exciting. And that's got, ooh, a 1,500 kilogram bomb, but it's very slow. So the Polish give us rocket attack and cannons for the ground. Some fire and forget missile. Yeah, little fighters. Anti-ground rockets. Fighter. Anti-ground and anti-chopper more than anything else. Multi-role. That's quite nice, I suppose, if you want to take out a tank that's coming in. 20% ECM, so it's not terrible. Ah, a seedplane. I was going to say, I don't have a seedplane from the Finnish, so I think that settles that. So that's your seedplane. You just bring in 1 elite one and hope you don't lose it. It's a cheap seedplane. That's only got 2 bombs. That's got 8 250 kilogram bombs, and that's got 8 500 kilogram napalm bombs. That's not bad. For 100. Now, how much was the Finnish one? Okay, so the Finnish one's faster. Similar napalm bombs, same number. No, so I'll take the Finnish one. It's cheaper and it's faster. And has a better turn radius so you can evac quicker. I think it's worth taking that then. Some more anti-ground in your deck. And napalm is annoying. Let me take 2 trained ones. I'm going to have to take the F-18Cs as well. Just to fill your deck. Now you take the elite one and just hope for the best. I'm not overly excited by what's in this deck for planes. You're basically going to be an anti-plane player, so you're more designed for taking out enemy aircraft. I might stick... Oh, that's 5 points for anything else, so let's back up. We'll stick with those. Navy I'm just going to ignore because I refuse to play naval maps. Vehicles, we could bring in more. We could bring in more Recon. We could bring in another type of tank. Support's full. Infantry. I use more infantry than anything else from this lot. So let's bring in another piece of infantry. We want something else cheap, close range. So you might as well bring these guys in this. We get 11 veterans, so that's 30, it's 20, it's 45. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. That's a good selection of infantry. So, logistics. We've got a FOB, we've got a supply truck, we've got a command unit, we've got a selection of infantry, which includes anti-air, commandos, elite troops, some anti-tank stuff, some anti-infantry, small type anti-vehicle, bit of everything troops, such cheap, and some general combat troops, which aren't that cheap. Support, we've got two similar, well, exactly the same price anti-air units. We've got a nice piece of artillery. We've got another piece of artillery which has napalm, and I do love napalm. And we have something with mortars, which is going to be good for doing a bit of damage and also very useful when we need to smoke. Then we've got our tanks. We've got the ridiculous little T-72 M1 PAIV, which is a nuisance. We've got the Matty, we've got the T-72 M1 mod, and we've got a T-72S with a missile. So we've got one cheap tank and some expensive tanks, basically. But equally, that one's not that expensive. The type of games I play, I'm going to be bringing in the T-72 more than anything else. Recon, we've got a nice selection. We've got two types of infantry to bring in. We've got a tank. We've got a helicopter. Vehicles, there's not a lot to choose from, but we'll bring in this with a TOW 2. And the Musty, just because that seems like it's going to be a very annoying unit at times. I was tempted to go with something like the ZU, just for anti-air, anti-ground. But equally, I think what we've got there is good enough. Helicopters, we've just taken two. There's not a lot of choice there. Something with anti-ground and something with, well, they're both anti-ground, but one with just missiles and one with a bit of everything. Cheap and cheerful, nothing exciting there. Planes, again, not a lot of choice. Air superiority, the MiG-29, the F-18C. I was even debating whether it's worth bringing in that one as well, and just going for complete air superiority rather than bringing anything with bombs. 100 points for a seed. There's no other seed aircraft in this deck. There's no potential for any other seed aircraft. That's only 4,200. It's not the 5,250 range. It's not ideal. I like napalm bombs. I feel like we need something like that. We'll go with that for now, but I can see myself possibly getting rid of one of these two and bringing in the other MiG-29s and just having a complete air superiority fighter deck. And as always, I'm going to pretend the Navy doesn't exist. So that's the end of part 3. As I said, I have played the deck since I made this video and recorded all that. So my plan is to do a follow-up video where I edit that deck and show you the changes I made and why. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Comments down below, very much appreciated, and have a fantastic weekend.